Welcome to the Diversity Made Simple webinar, where I want to show you how you can significantly increase your multicultural awareness and diversity competence, and thus not only improve your relationships with diverse individuals, but also reduce unintentional offenses that damage personal and professional relationships alike, as well as repair relationships damaged by cultural offenses that still occur. With greater awareness of publicized social injustices and the damage these and other experiences have on healthy community interactions, it is vital that helping professionals like you make intentional efforts to be a part of the solution rather than unintentionally perpetuating the problem. Which is why I'm very glad that you're here today, because your choice to participate in this webinar shows that you care about having the best possible impact on others, whether they're similar or different than you, and that you're open to learning new ways of doing that. Regardless of whether or not I get the pleasure of working with you further after today, knowing that there are more people at least trying to do this gives me hope that I can pass on to others. My goal is to help make your cultural competency efforts easier to accomplish. Also, I want to encourage you to stay to the very end because I have a free, valuable bonus that I want to offer you as a thank you just for watching. That being said, let's get started. For those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Lambert Fisher, and I was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois. I spent several years in Pasadena, California, until I moved to the Twin Cities in Minnesota. My wife, who is also my college sweetheart, and I have been together for 23 years. We also have two smart and beautiful daughters. Professionally, I'm a marriage and family therapist who's been helping individuals, couples, and families strengthen their relationships for the past 18 years. I'm also an adjunct instructor and a national speaker on the topic of multicultural awareness and diversity, training mental health and other helping professionals from aspiring students to seasoned professionals around the country. To get a better understanding of what Diversity Made Simple is, let me first tell you how it came to be. For the past 18 years, I've had the pleasure of working with individuals, couples, and families, helping them strengthen their interpersonal relationships. Pulling from a variety of personal and professional experiences over the years, I've had the pleasure of serving clients from a large variety of cultural backgrounds, learning how to build healthy connections with those whom I share both similarities as well as differences in many ways. Years ago, I provided counseling services for a large mental health agency that created programming where professionals who were more knowledgeable and skilled could offer in-house training to their colleagues on a variety of topics intended to help provide better services. Unfortunately, when the topic of multicultural awareness and diversity arose, no one stepped up. Although I didn't consider myself to be an expert at the time, I was also aware of some potentially beneficial steps that could be taken to improve cross-cultural relationships with clients as well as colleagues. I then realized something that has helped me as well as many other professionals as well. You don't have to know everything about everyone in order to make a positive impact on someone. What began as a one-hour training for one organization grew over the years into Diversity Made Simple trainings being held around the country, not only for mental health professionals, but also for over 5,000 helping professionals from a variety of fields and disciplines. One of the biggest draws is that these trainings address a topic that many consider to be scary and intimidating, often filled with negative emotions, resulting in lots of anger, shame, and guilt, in a way that instead is encouraging, motivating, and empowering, helping people to feel hope that cultural competence and positive cross-cultural interactions are actually attainable. So, let me give you a quick 5-minute overview of how this works by showing you a case study from one of my Diversity Made Simple students. But first, I want to cover what doesn't work and why it doesn't work. Avoidance. Many professionals believe change as it relates to cultural competence is futile. People are just who they are, and thus simply avoid anyone who seems different, staying in their professional comfort zone, hoping for the best, hoping their good intentions alone will prevent unintentional offenses. Unfortunately, many people get left out, and unintentional offenses still abound. There is a better way. Cancel culture. Many organizations conclude that the only way to reduce cultural offenses is to punish those who offend others with reprimands, probation, or firing. Unfortunately, this doesn't lead to learning and growth, only increased caution at making mistakes. It also results in the loss of quality caring staff and the unmet needs of clients. Shame. Too often, professionals try to shame and guilt others into improvement. What they don't realize is that shame and guilt paralyze rather than motivate, ignoring the genuine intent behind unintended yet ultimately hurtful offenses. But there's a better way to increase your cultural competence, and when you choose it, you can not only feel more culturally competent, but also more confident in your ability to meet others where they're at culturally as well. For example, consider Sean, a director of a team of mental health professionals at a large behavioral health facility. Although he effectively led and trained his team in their providing of quality mental health services to many, he admittedly felt discouraged as he struggled with how to address culture related conflicts between professionals, as well as between professionals and their clients. Neither he nor his team felt equipped to address cultural concerns competently, risking damage to the therapeutic relationships and the loss of potential clients. After participating in my Diversity Made Simple course, he not only left feeling more competent and equipped than when he began, he felt confident enough to apply the things he learned immediately and share the same with his team so that they and all their clients could benefit from similar cultural competence and confidence growth. This is what Sean had to say. I was immediately impressed with Lambert's depth and breadth of knowledge and experience in this realm. More importantly, I found his approach to the topic to be non-judgmental, unifying, and refreshingly encouraging of all people to engage in productive dialogue and learn from each other. The material was clearly delivered and relevant. His presentation style was engaging and thought-provoking, information and concepts that were immediately useful in clinical practice and stimulated a desire to have ongoing conversations on what can be a very challenging topic. Lambers was the best speaker on multicultural issues I've ever seen in my career. I would highly and confidently recommend him for anyone striving to advance their cultural awareness, knowledge, skills, and abilities. Lambers is a very dynamic, relevant, and empowering speaker. So why did Diversity Made Simple work for Sean? He and his team fell into a common trap, believing that if you don't know everything about everyone, then it's best if you say nothing and leave that cultural stuff to the experts. Unfortunately, if we do that, then there won't be enough experts to meet our community's needs. In contrast, I believe that you are already more equipped than you think, and there are practical strategies that you can learn today to significantly increase your cultural competence and thus your effectiveness serving diverse populations. The reason that it works is that it is empowering and encouraging, increasing your self awareness and using it as a tool for understanding rather than a difference that divides. It is simple and practical. Both the expert and the novice can learn how to improve alongside each other. It is relationship focused rather than agenda focused, resulting in polarizing and divisive debates. The goal here is to improve relationships with the very next person you encounter. Because of Diversity Made Simple, Sean was able to not only improve his cross-cultural relationships with his clients, but also able to support his team in their efforts to support their clients as well. This resulted in the need to refer less clients out to other resources, as well as increase referrals from satisfied clients. His participation alone initiated a positive impact on his team and eventually countless others. Here are 3 things that helped Sean significantly improve his cultural competence: increase his confidence in his ability to build healthy cross-cultural relationships, identify key cultural misunderstandings that reduce the likelihood of cultural offenses, and taught him practical strategies for repairing relationships damaged by unintentional cultural offenses. Confidence, reduction, and repair. In step 1, I want to help you increase your cultural confidence. To accomplish this, first, we will help you increase your own cultural self-awareness, because the more you understand about yourself culturally, the more prepared you will be to understand others culturally. Then, we'll gain a more realistic view of what cultural competence is. For contrary to popular belief, it is not simply learning everything about everyone. That's virtually impossible. Rather, there are reasonable steps you can do immediately to get from uncomfortable to competent. It may not be experts, but your clients don't need you to be a culture expert. They need you to be the expert at what you do and competent and considerate of their culture while you do it. When this part is done right, you'll have increased cultural self-awareness, a healthy perspective on attainable goals for cultural competence, and increased confidence in your ability to be a culturally competent professional. Diversity Made Simple has helped empower aspiring professionals, newly licensed professionals, and seasoned professionals to feel confident in their ability to serve clients outside of their comfort zone. Consider the experience of Abby, an aspiring therapist who is considering exploring another field, believing that her lack of culturally diverse experiences prohibited her from being effective in meeting the needs of individuals and families from various cultural backgrounds. After participating in Diversity Made Simple, she had this to say: Lamberts encouraged me to keep learning and believe that it from a small town could be culturally competent enough to help someone from a completely different background, with awareness of differences, compassion, and a continuing willingness to learn. That was huge for me. Words cannot express how grateful I am. As a result of Diversity Made Simple, you too can feel more confident. Help your clients feel more comfortable with the services that you provide, leading them to not only stay longer, but also recommend others to you as well. To show you how simple the diversity made simple steps can be, I want to challenge you to a mini cultural assessment exercise. Take a moment right now and think of all the people you consider to be like you among your family, friends, colleagues, and community at large. Then write down their names and list what about them you consider to be like you. Now consider the following non exhaustive list of ways in which many people differ in their cultural experiences: race, ethnicity, age, gender identity and expression, gender, national origin, sexual orientation, mental and physical ability, education, political belief, family roles, organizational roles, language and communication skills, income, religion, appearance, work experience, and many more. Now, take a moment and ask yourself how you identify with respect to each of these diverse life experiences. For example, I'd say I'm an African American Christian male, and so on. Then take another look at your list of those you consider to be like you and consider how many of them identify the exact same way as you in every category. Although most of you may have difficulty finding exact matches in every account, for those few of you who were able to do so, go a step further. Rank these same factors in your order of priority in your life. Then consider whether your ranking order would match those others exactly as well. This simple exercise illustrates how we all have differences from those who seem similar, and similarities with those who are admittedly different. The challenge is accepting that we're all different in one way or another, and then learning to understand and appreciate similarities as well as differences with self respect and consideration for others. In step two, we'll help you reduce cultural offenses. To accomplish this, first we will explore diverse cultural group values and concerns, which, when misunderstood, often lead to feelings of offense and damage cross cultural relationships. Then we will explore diversity related language that is often made too deep and equip you with practical understandings of not only healthy language to use when discussing them, but helps you avoid academic and political rhetoric and instead promotes strengthened real life cross cultural relationships. When this is done right, you'll have increased empathy and understanding of a variety of cultural experiences, practical understanding of often deep diversity related topics, and simple language you can use to make positive change, as well as increased understanding of common cultural misunderstanding traps to avoid to reduce the likelihood of culturally offending others. For example, here's what Mary had to say about how Diversity Made Simple helped her. I attended Lambert's one-day diversity seminar, wanting to become more multiculturally competent in my classroom. I teach graduate students training to be licensed counselors in schools and agencies. I got so much out of Lambert's seminar that I invited him to do the same training for our university. The students loved him and learned a lot from his non-judgmental, informative, sometimes humorous, and all times engaging style of instruction. I would recommend Lambert's to any group of students, mental health workers, church members, or community leaders who want to learn about tolerance, social justice, multicultural competency, and humanity. His unique presentation style helps students deal with difficult emotions and experiences with acceptance and comforting words. He is amazing. As a result, Mary, who was already having these difficult discussions with her students in order to prepare them for the real life outside of academia, became equipped with more practical and empowering language and a relational focus, not only increasing student receptivity to her teaching, but also increasing their willingness and preparedness to make a more positive impact on a greater variety of clients than they would have previously. It went from just another thing professors say we should do to something they believed they could do and wanted to put into practice. In step three, we will help you repair relationships damaged by cultural offenses. To accomplish this, we will not only help you identify signs of cultural offenses before others have to let you know their own way, provide practical steps for addressing cultural offenses respectfully, as well as strategies for healthily moving forward after offenses occur that honors the past while also conveying hope for a better future, one that includes a relationship that is stronger than before the offense occurred. When this part is done right, you'll be able to reduce the impact of cultural offenses before they're expressed. You'll have the confidence to address it first without minimizing you or your client. And you'll be able to move forward with your client, acknowledging what happened, but without letting it stop future progress. One of the most common motivators for professionals joining my training is not because they are trying to prevent a cultural conflict. Rather, it's because they have either experienced a cultural conflict in the past or are currently experiencing one and need help resolving it. Diversity Made Simple not only provides practical strategies for ending cultural conflict, but doing such in a way that paves the way for a healthier relationship afterwards, with shared understanding and consideration. What many thought was an impossible dream became a reality they were ready to implement once they left. For example, I helped Kevin equip his team of faith leaders as they prepared to serve communities around the country. Kevin is a trained mental health professional who is also a leader in a large church. One of his primary responsibilities is training aspiring ministers and faith leaders as they prepare to serve in a variety of capacities, some as pastors, others as missionaries abroad, and others simply seeking to meet the needs of underserved populations around this country. However, as they prepared to do so, they also anticipated facing difficulty regarding not only whether differences in cultural backgrounds would cause distrust in their motivations and ultimately lack of receptivity to their offers of support, but also whether or not unintentional cultural offenses caused by them would create irreparable barriers, hindering their ability to build and maintain healthy cross cultural community relationships. Seeking to overcome this difficulty, Kevin came to Diversity Made Simple. Hear what he had to say. Lambers is extremely knowledgeable, both as a result of his personal experiences as well as his professional training and experience as a therapist. Lambers was very engaging and effective in helping our mostly white students to understand and wrestle with the realities of ongoing racism and white privilege without being triggered or shut down by feeling blamed or guilty. He equipped them with tools for being more skilled in multicultural awareness, as well as their efforts toward relationship reconciliation. They already had the ministry training they needed, but they were hindered by cultural conflict fear barriers. Diversity Made Simple built upon their value for reconciliation by providing practical strategies for repairing relationships damaged by cultural offenses, such that even if their offense reduction efforts weren't perfect, they had a plan for confidently repairing relationships, no matter the cultural similarities or differences they encountered. The tricky part of increasing your cultural competence is obvious. It can seem unnecessary, but it is essential. Many people reasonably conclude that good intentions are enough. And I'll admit, good intentions matter a lot. However, unintentional offenses occur every day, and the damaged relationships often have very unfortunate short and long term consequences. It can seem overwhelming, but it is attainable. There are a large variety of cultural experiences in this world, and it can seem daunting to have to learn about them all in order to do the most good and avoid the most harm. However, you don't need to learn everything about everyone in order to have a positive impact on someone. Diversity Made Simple narrows down what you need in order to have a solid cultural competence foundation to start with, which alone can significantly improve your cross cultural relationships and over time be improved upon as you gain more experience. And most importantly, it can seem risky, and in some ways it is, but that risk can be significantly reduced. On one hand, many people, potentially including both you and your clients, have experienced negative past experiences related to cultural conflict or misunderstanding. As a result, cautions exist, as well as unhealthy responses based on past experiences. However, on the other hand, in order to change this pattern, helping professionals like yourselves need to be willing to do something different to get different results. But instead of asking you to blindly walk into the historically hot cross cultural relationship fire, you can be equipped with fire prevention and fire extinguishing strategies that are mutually respectful and honoring of various legitimate cultural experiences. That's why I would like to invite you to work with me to make diversity simple in your personal and professional efforts. What would it look like for me to help you increase your cultural competence and confidence, reduce cultural offenses, and repair relationships damaged by cultural offenses? The Diversity Made Simple live and online seminar experiences provide everything I've gone over with you in this webinar, as well as more targeted opportunities to address cultural barriers specific to your organization's needs. What you get in the Diversity Made Simple online course is this: a 6-hour online Diversity Made Simple cultural competence training, including cultural confidence and empowerment, cultural competence in action case examples, cultural offense repair strategies, and common cultural misunderstandings simplified. You'll also get the Diversity Made Simple worksheet collection for even more practically applicable support. In addition, you'll get the Diversity Made Simple ebook, a companion summary of key guiding principles to use as a reminder along your journey, or even to share with a colleague as a mini overview of a new way to talk about multicultural competence. Visit diversitymadesimple.com to find out how you can get all this today and get started on your journey to increase cultural competence and improve cross cultural interactions. Here are the kinds of results you can expect: positive, strengthened relationships among staff and coworkers, increase comfortability and freedom to converse about culturally diverse topics and experiences, which help retain and attract clients as well as professionals. In addition to relational and clinical benefits, the tangible benefits are clear as well. You can have strengthened client relationships and the resulting income that comes from client retention. Increase new clients inspired by positive referrals and recommendations from current clients, as well as strengthen staff relationships and the resulting income from staff retention. Not only that, but if you don't believe that Diversity Made Simple has affirmed or enhanced your cultural competence within the first 30 days, then we'll give you a full refund. Again, when you join the Diversity Made Simple online course, you'll receive the full 6-hour online on-demand Diversity Made Simple cultural competence training, where at your own pace, you can learn how to increase your cultural confidence and competence, reduce unintentional cultural offenses, and repair relationships damaged by cultural offenses. As an included bonus, you'll also receive the Diversity Made Simple worksheet collection with even more practically applicable support, and the Diversity Made Simple ebook as a companion summary of key guiding principles. It is also worth noting that I've had great experiences translating Diversity Made Simple concepts into conference keynote speeches, corporate leadership trainings, church and community organization seminars and workshops, as well as providing consultation services, helping facilitate difficult discussions with employees in hopes of improving cross-cultural staff interactions and customer relations. If this live, in-person, or virtual experience is what you need, then feel free to reach out to me directly through the Book Lamberts button on my website, and I will be happy to explore how I might be able to help best support your efforts. And finally, I want to make you aware of my Diversity Made Simple Masterclass, a 30-minute overview of some key multicultural awareness and diversity concepts with practical strategies for instantly improving your cultural self-awareness, reducing cultural offenses, and repairing relationships damaged by cultural offenses. This masterclass is a great complement to your organization's new hire orientation and training, while also providing an opportunity to support your entire organization at once, establishing a great cultural competency standard that can improve the quality of all future discussions and efforts. You'd be surprised not only how much I can fit into 30 minutes, but by the instant impact it can have for your organization. Now, as promised, as a special bonus, just to express my appreciation for you viewing this webinar in full, I want to offer you a free copy of my ebook, Diversity Made Simple: 3 Essential Steps to Increasing Your Multicultural Awareness. It provides some key first steps in overcoming common barriers to multicultural competence growth. Even if you never choose to take the Diversity Made Simple online course, I believe this book can enhance your personal and professional cultural competency efforts. Not only that, but this ebook, along with the Diversity Made Simple worksheet collection, is usually reserved for Diversity Made Simple students. But I'm offering it as a special bonus during this webinar for a short time as a special thank you for watching. To obtain your copy, simply visit the direct link only available in this webinar, diversitymadesimple.com/ebook. So, why wait any longer? Don't wait for the next cultural offense or misunderstanding to catch you off guard and leave you scrambling to pick up the pieces. Instead, be proactive. Take a step toward increased cultural confidence and competence that will have long-lasting personal and professional benefits for years to come. Thank you for taking the time to learn about Diversity Made Simple and how it can help you reduce unintentional cultural offenses and repair relationships damaged by cultural offenses. If that's something that you feel would be worth strengthening, I believe that you'll find the time you spend in the Diversity Made Simple course to be well worth it in your efforts to have and maintain healthy relationships with everyone you encounter, no matter what your similarities or differences may be. With that being said, I look forward to seeing you in the course.